2, 1. Hi, my name is Mike Ulmer from 1614 Fitness. I am the default head trainer here at 1614. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you some of the experiences that I've had throughout my 10, 15 years of personal training, and kind of share with you my thoughts on goal setting and the significance of how they can improve/change your very life. That being said, people come to me all the time and ask questions. So what I've decided to do with my partner in crime, Gino Cap, who's manning that wonderful video camera behind you, or behind me, or in front of me, or wherever it is, we've decided we're going to put together a face cast, kind of like an iCast or iPod cast or whatever those techie things are that folks do, except we're going to do it on our Facebook page. Dino had a great idea years ago, or I guess a year and a half ago, to create a 1614 Fitness Facebook. And through that, we've got a ton of folks who check it out daily. He updates it all the time with all kind of great, fun, nutritional facts. So I thought, what better way to do it than to share with you some of my thoughts and ideas and experiences in the fitness world. And so our game plan is to do one of these messages once every other week or so. Now give us some time to get this thing rolling because, let's face it, we don't really know what we're doing. So that being said, people approach me all the time and they ask me, hey Mike, I need a workout program. I want a nutrition program. Can you give me a diet? And the first thing I say to those folks are, well, let's sit down and talk about it. And they always look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean, let's talk about it? What's there to talk about? Well, that's like me going to New York City, jumping in a cab and getting in a cab and a cab driver just taking me down the street. That cabbie has no idea where I'm going. Well, when people approach me and ask me fitness questions or nutrition questions or workout routines, I've got to know what it is they're doing. I've got to find out where they intend to go. I've seen a ton of trainers over the years just put random workout plans together. I've seen trainers use the same training method for every personal trainer or personal training client that they have. That to me is bananas. Because if somebody comes to me and says, hey, listen, I want to hire you as a personal trainer, first thing I do is we sit down and we have a meeting. Because ultimately what they need to do is they need to tell me I want to go there. And I need to find out where they're starting, and then I need to build them a map to get them there. So many times that doesn't happen. So if you have a trainer that doesn't ask you these questions, doesn't design it like a roadmap, you might want to consider changing folks. That may sound terrible, but I really believe it. Let me share with you a story of really every client I have. We sit down, we go over, we talk, find out where it is you want to go, and 99% of the time when I ask somebody what their physical goal is, their physical fitness goal, they lie to me. They don't mean to lie, but every time I ask somebody, hey man, what do you want to do? Man, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That magical 20 pounds is, I've heard it 1,000 times. And truth be told, it really isn't 1,000, or it really isn't 20 pounds you want to lose. It's something entirely different. But that's my job as a trainer. That's our job as fitness professionals, to find out what it really is that you want. And when this whole little program's over in about 4 minutes, I'm going to ask you to do some homework. So hold on to that thought. But I want to tell you a story about a gal I called my surrogate wife forever. I won't tell you her first name or her last name because she's a prominent business lady in the Delaware area. And she came to me years and years ago and says, I want you to be my trainer. So I said the same thing, let's go talk. And she looked at me like I was crazy. She brought all the workout gear and she was ready to sweat, and we didn't do anything. In her mind, we didn't do anything. But for me, it was the most important part of that whole, our training life together. We were together 2.5 years. But that initial meeting was the most important meeting we ever had. And I asked her, I said, what do you want to do? Swear to heaven. She said, I'll lose 20 pounds. I said, okay. I had a little clipboard, a piece of paper. I didn't even bother writing that down because I knew it was a lie. That's what she thought she wanted to do. Maybe it's what she thought I wanted to hear. But her eyes didn't sparkle. She didn't care. She really didn't say anything. She just said 20 pounds, very generically. But throughout the entire conversation, every time she brought up this certain trip with her husband and a bikini, her eyes glistened. She had passion. Her expression changed. I go, listen, let's talk more about the bikini. Oh yeah, I really want to wear that bikini. I go, well then, isn't your goal to wear that bikini? Oh yeah, I want to wear the bikini on vacation in 9 months from now. In my world, there's no greater goal on the planet. She gave me her goal, which I think is real. It was passionate and it was important. She's not going to forget that goal. She's going to forget 20 pounds. And Eclair will make you lose your mind, but she won't lose that bikini. And maybe even more importantly, she gave it oomph. She gave it credibility. She gave it significance. She says, I'm going on vacation with my husband in 9 months. Now, we'll talk about how I broke that monkey up in small bites because 9 months I think is too big, but we changed it up. But ultimately her goal was to wear a bikini with her husband on a beach in 9 months. And yeah, she wore that bikini with her husband on the beach. And that was very, very cool. I don't believe for a second we would have gotten that far had we stuck to that generic 20 pounds. So from a personal training perspective, from a training professional perspective, we got to find out where our clients are going. And that really is the crux of this conversation, and what I want to talk about for the next 3 months or so is finding out where you're going. And that's my homework. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Dino's rolling his eyes because it may take 2 months because he's got to figure out how to put this on there, and God knows I'm a lot worse than he is, so it would never happen if it was up to me. But your homework is this. Find out what you really want to do. Find it out. But we're going to talk about it because I worked at MD&A for 7 years before I threw all my chips into this bucket and decided I needed to go into business for myself. And I heard motivational speech after motivational speech after motivational speech. But in fact, I gave a lot of those motivational speeches for the bank. But majority of the times, those words fall upon deaf ears. But I'm a firm believer that if you establish a goal, give it life by writing it down, giving it significance by giving it a due date, you now have a shot. Because people who don't do that aren't moving. And we'll talk about being stagnant and being real water and all that. That's going to be in a couple segments down the road. I've got a good idea on that. But really, that's what happens. You got to come up with a direction. You got to go there. So what I want you to do is, whether it be relationships, spiritual, fitness, monetary, find out what it is you want. Think about it. Write it down. And we'll play a little bit more in a few weeks. Listen, my name is Mike Walmer, 1614 Fitness. Check us out on the web, 1614fitness.com. On Facebook, we're the official one. I don't really know what that means, but it'll say the official web or the official Facebook of 1614, because there's a handful of them out there. Or give us a call at 832-1614, or the Newark site, 738-1614. We look forward to hearing from you. And again, I look forward to sharing some more ideas and thoughts in about 2 weeks or so, or however long it takes us to figure it out. Take care of yourself, be safe, and stay healthy. We'll see you soon.